All right. Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening, everybody. Good to see you here. Paul Training going to dive into today's internet inspired. Do this once a week, basically taking hot topics from the interwebs and diving into this and doing a creative spin on it. So this is going to be a lot of fun. And what we're talking about today is for all my creative folks. How is your home office set up? If you're working from home or really doing any sort of work from home, even if it's just for fun. So let me share the tweet with you. You can see it right here from Michelle Wells. There we are. How is your home ergonomics, basically? Want to hear from you, and good to have you here. Also just checking chat. I see you, Kevin. There you go. Okay, fantastic. Luke, Isabel, Kurt's good to have you here from Bayshore, Long Island, New York. He's a writer. That's good to hear as well. Anola, good to see you here. Melanie, hello, Afrosia. All right, so we'll go ahead and hop on into this. This will be fun. Ergonomics for creatives. This is the tweet. I could always post it in the chat. But like, is your home office like this? I can literally show you my home office, and you tell me what you think. Try to get a little better of an angle. Like, is mine even like this? Kind of. It's kind of right here. I am kind of moving. It's kind of staring straight at the camera, but the things I'm working on are down here, right? So they say this should be at sort of like elbow level. Yeah. Are my feet on the ground? Kinda. This is usually only when I'm live streaming. So that's essentially kind of what my workspace looks like. And I've already have some photos for you, but I'd love to hear kind of what your workspace is like. It'd be fun to see somehow. I don't know how we would do that. I went ahead and actually took some photos because this is really this is really like kind of how I think I work versus how I actually work. So let's dive into this, and I'm sharing my screen now. Typically it is like, maybe I am working like this, right? And I'm in Illustrator, by the way. So what's happening here? I might have, that. We'll just hit B for brush. That needs to be vertical, right? Is this kind of parallel or, at a right angle? Are my feet sort of on the ground like so, right? Something like that. Arm. Is this at eye level? No, where am I looking? Well, I'm actually looking right down here. Is it good? I don't know, people. This is typically sort of how I'd work. Kinda not. Right? There's at least 3 drinks here at any given time. And since I'm drawing on this, I'm going to show you what you can do in Illustrator. I'll double click right in here. For layer options, double click on your layer, and you can turn this to template. So that's going to dim the image to 50%, and it's going to lock it as well. So I'll click OK, boom. Now you can see all of those lines. So I have at least at any given time like 3 drinks easily. Actually, technically, both of these are currently water, but here are my 3 drinks. Right, this is like the way I would like to think I work typically, but no, how I actually work is like more like this. So I don't know if you guys are like this, Isabel or Osama or Gleedson as well. Yeah, this is how I usually am. Like, okay, this is almost at, I'm almost laying fully flat, like so, right? With my feet way down here, right? I don't know if you guys are like that as well. And I want to do an illustration of this as well. I could barely reach the mouse. Like this, I should do in red all the problem points by, to be honest with you. So there we have that. We have my other arm right back here. My head's just kind of like that, kind of looking up here. What do we have over here? Yeah, we have Netflix. And then we have social media. Let's undo that. Media. And again, all my drinks. You can't see the coffee there, but this is my, just so you know, if we zoom out, this is probably early afternoon. So I'm going to kind of like, for me, hopefully you find this interesting. I think it's interesting, Cecilia, to see how people work. So this is typically me in the morning. And then right here, this is like early afternoon. And then you have like late afternoon, evening. So I'll show you kind of what that looks like. It ends up looking like this. This is typically my setup. And hopefully you find this interesting because I'm kind of curious how you live your life. Right in here, Cecilia. And let me make sure I can see the other chat. There we are. Oh, there we go. Melanie, I work that way all the time when I have my wireless mouse and keyboard. Cool. Yes, thank you. Christine might work this way. Are you guys like this? This is typically like how I am. It's like, you know what? There's that afternoon break. And yeah, I'll be like weird angles. Like, is it correct? I don't know. You know, maybe in this case, I could draw with white, but let's actually change this back to a template. Go to that layer. And you can see feet just kind of hanging off the edge, just kind of dangling there. I'm usually kicking them, depending if I'm in a good mood. I'll just be kicking my feet like a kid. And then obviously, zoop, head like so. Arms at some crazy, ridiculous angle where my elbow's way out here and cramped up on this keyboard. And you can see my my hands just like cramped. I'm going to go over all this in red. Just to kind of show you like all the problem areas that I know will end up hurting me. And then right up here you have again, what do you have? Oops, this just clicked over. You have Netflix again. ETFLIX. So yeah, also wondering, ooh, Oliver, I'm so jealous of your setup. It's a setup with adjustable standing desk with monitor risers. That is so cool. I actually have that, if we can kind of switch over. That's what this is. This is actually a desk that can be raised and lowered, and that adjusts like the camera angle. But that's what I had to do with my my so-called standing desk. Okay. Oh, Christine, what? Oh yeah, that just like hits me right here. Means a lot to me. You actually put Netflix on pause. That's so nice of you. Right, and again, typically I have, again, 2 to 3 drinks, at least 2 sitting right here, right? So we'll usually have a sweet drink and then water. Close enough to where I could knock it off that little table, right? And I'm kind of liking this illustration the most. But again, this is late afternoon. TER. Late afternoon, typically. Not even that late. We're talking 3 p.m. for me, right? Let me move down, see some more comments. There we go. Ooh, does anybody else make room for their cat in their chair with them for hours? Yes, you're exactly right, Lisa. Again, you can't quite see it, but yes, that's exactly what I have going on here. Right here, you could see. that is for the cat when she comes to visit me, which is next to never. But I'm always ready for her. So that's kind of the idea, right? So we have this. I think this is interesting because I think it's hard to stay in one position forever, and that's why, if you ask me, that all this stuff, whereas ergonomics, like this stuff, yeah, I get it. I should be like this, but nobody is like this for 8 hours a day. Like, it's not even realistic. But like, I try it, right? So again, the 90-degree angle, sort of eye level to the monitor, neutral head, elbows bent, feet on the floor, right? That's kind of like, nobody's like that. We could almost set a clock to it. So I think we have two different ideas here, and I don't have a lot of time. I've already been going for 10 minutes. I love this illustration. This gets to be really fun, but also it'd be fun to take or to make like a clock. And essentially this is what happens to me. It's like we have this clock, and this clock, let me just grab this character right here. Again, for the sake of time, let's paste him in here. Let's flip him. Again, my name is Paul. This is Internet Inspired, where we take something from the interwebs and do our own little fun version of it. But here's our character, and you can almost set a clock to it. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. It's like, bear with me. Bear with me. Ba, ba, ba. We could do this. Do you guys know we have our character. He's not sitting in a chair. We could bend all of these points, and maybe I will for these legs. It's pretty easy to take this and ungroup this character and to take these points. Let's ungroup this. Oh, it really needs to be ungrouped. Big time. Big time. All right. So we have these lovely legs. I could take these legs, and again, he's going to sort of be perfectly ergonomic, right? Sitting like so. Take this one like so. Move this around. I could bend. A lot of times you will. In this case, maybe I will bend the points, but also I would use the puppet tool. So let me just change this to, say, a red so we could see it, right? P for path. Add points like so. Move this in, and let's get this character to sit down. Right, still interested in what you guys, zoop. What your setup is like, and I really wish I could see them. Right, there we are. Let's take this, rotate it a little more, move it in. That's not bad. That's not bad. You know what? These feet are exactly the same. So let's get rid of that one. Boom. Let's add some curves in here, and we can make a fun illustration, either based on my illustration, or anchor point tool. Shift C is what I'm looking for. But again, just dealing with like two different designs here. So there we go. We'll just do something like that. Boom. Boom. Easy enough. I don't know. I was thinking about doing like a clock, basically. I kind of got excited about that idea because it's like, you know, here I am, or here you might be, and we'll call this morning, right? So this is like your, let's duplicate this. Wait for it. Rotate this, move him in like this. This is me throughout the day. This deals exactly with just like how ergonomics for me happen, right? I will be very much into working, right? You'll have your arms extended. Oops, sorry about that. Zoop, there we are. Duplicate this, move it over here, send it to back, Command, Shift, opening bracket, moving that to the back. So it's like, what I'm doing is I'm doing like the 9 o'clock and sort of 9:10. And I really wish I had a clock already made. But here we have our 9, noon, 3 p.m., 6 p.m. So you can start to see this as, you know, a potential little like panel illustration, right? So your 9 o'clock would look, or your 10 o'clock would look something like this. And again, I'm just still working on this. And thank you so much for joining me. Sorry I can't quite read chat right now. But again, you're really interested in the work at the beginning of the day. You're like, oh yeah, I'm going to crush it. It's going to be awesome, right? So you're like this. So this is your 9 a.m., 9 to 10 a.m. hours. Yes, thank you. Kurtz has it nailed. Like, yeah, I'm the same way. It's like if you're not sitting correctly or you find yourself slouching so much, then yeah, it's time to take a break. So this is like, I'm trying to do maybe a 10 a.m. right here, or 11, right? Like that. And let's do this really fast. You ready for this? I'm going to show you this little pro tip. We'll jump in here. We'll take this, we'll copy it, we'll paste it on top. I'm going to be dealing with this circle. Let's shrink it down, right? I want all those little dashes. Well, we could use just a simple, go into properties, go into the stroke, and then right in here we can make this a dashed line. So you can make that stroke a dashed line. There it is, this little guy. And we can give it a certain amount of gap. Let's just put 20 in there. Why is it not? Why is it not? Okay, stroke. Why is the dashed line not working? That is my big question. Is that weird? Isn't that weird? Okay, so I think it has to do with this brush. Okay, if you ever run into that situation, let's just get rid of this stroke altogether. There we go. We've reduced it back down to just like a basic stroke. I basically like reset it, right? It's because it has had that touch calligraphic stroke to it, but I've reduced it down to a basic stroke. So hopefully that did it. We'll go into stroke, we'll hit dash line. Sure enough, there, that works. So I'm glad that happened. So just so you know, anytime you run into any issues in Illustrator, you want to be able to, let's move my camera over, just go into the appearance panel, and then you can reduce to basic appearance. And that will get rid of any funny business, anything that's basically in here, to get rid of anything that might be like going awry for you. I don't know what this would be like, to be honest with you, on 100. I'm basically making my dashes. If we leave these next two just blank, then yeah, you can change accordingly. Let's make this larger gap, right? And again, this is just one way to do it. And there, that's set up like so. Okay, still have those dashes through there. It's fine. It is fine. Okay. There were other ways I could have done that, by the way. I could have used the, I could have used, let me do this as well. We want to go beyond a dash line. And I know I'm going, you know, I kind of want to focus on ergonomics as well. But what if we want little dots? So let's just draw a little like dot right here. Let's get rid of that dash line. In fact, let's get rid of the stroke altogether. We'll just give it a nice fill. And get rid of the stroke. And then, because people did not realize, I showed this the other day, and people didn't realize that there is, right down in here, there's this radial repeat. So radial, grid, and mirror. I'm going to do radial, Radio is going to allow me to take that little dot and then repeat it accordingly. So that's what's happening here. It's like, boom, we can make all these little dots like so. Let's just kind of move that up like that, right? It is making 8 dots currently because it says right over here, we're making 8 dots. How many do we need? Well, we need 12. This was so much easier to do, by the way. This was so much easier than I was doing. And what's nice about this is I could always go in and change the original. So if I decide I want this to, have a no fill, do something like that, whatever the case may be, I can change this sort of all I want, as you can tell, right? So there that is. All right, still some work needs to be done. You guys can kind of see where I'm going with this. I'm going to check chat. I have an Apple Watch and I have programmed to remind me to stand. Oh, you're good. Those are sometimes like so annoying if you ask me, because sometimes it's like, okay, stop it already. I know I need to move more. I know I need to stand. I'm like, I feel like I'm sometimes like bullied by technology when I use those sort of features. I don't want to be bullied by technology. There we go. Just did a little cheat. Yeah, I'm cheating here. I'm just doing like a little overlay to get rid of those little dots just to make it easy for me. There we go. And let's change this one again. Back to black or even a gray. You get the idea. Okay, so we have phase 1. We have morning. Let's duplicate our little character. Next phase would be sort of like high noon. And let me know. You remind yourself to blink. That's pretty darn funny. This guy needs a laptop. So this is noon. And then let's do like the 3 p.m. version of me, right? And I don't wear glasses. I just grabbed this character, but I think this is really fun to kind of do. It's like, boom. Here's the 3 p.m. ergonomic. I need to still give him a keyboard and all that stuff, like a laptop. But I do like where this is headed. So it's like this. Probably maybe doesn't have a smile on his face. But let's actually grab those other legs if we still have them. Welcome if you're just joining me. This is Internet Inspired. We're just kind of have some fun dealing with, some internet content that's out there that, has gotten some good traction, and we do our fun take on it. So here's our 3 p.m. Let's get rid of these legs. Rotate them. And again, this is like me on the couch, if you will, and I need to make a laptop. But here I am. I need a laptop. Can make him nap at 2 o'clock. Yeah, his face needs to be drowsy. He doesn't have a smile. He needs to be looking at something else, but this is now the 3 p.m. version. So you have your morning. It's like interested. Then I'll edit this. Let's ungroup this. It's driving me nuts. We need to grab a laptop, so I'm going to do that in a second. I should have Internet Inspired. That's going to take me too long to find. So let's just do this. Let's grab... Should I just grab a laptop? Let me show you this. This is where I've gotten that asset as well. I often look like an otter, which is why I actually gotten these. It's like, by the end of the day, kind of look like a little otter that's swimming and has, I don't know, usually has its baby or whatever, but that's like my laptop. My laptop is that little shell, and that's typically how I'll end up working on my laptop. But we'll just jump in here and we'll just type in laptop. Because again, I'm trying to make this as fast as possible. And these are easy ways just to grab quick assets. We'll change this to free. And then we will go down to vectors. Want to make sure we grab vector-based laptop. Sure enough, you can see a couple in there. If we find something that works, great. If not, I'm just going to draw something. But I'm just trying to see what's going to be fastest for me. Ooh, I like that one. All right. Yeah, I think I'm just going to draw a laptop. I think it's going to be easier. These are fun. All right, we did what we could. Let's jump in here. Let's make it really fast. Feel free. You guys can totally judge me on just Googling and maybe downloading a laptop when I can just as easily make it. That's what I'm doing right now, is I'm actually making this little laptop. Pop. Like so. You get the idea. Just basic. There we go. We're probably working on a Mac. Most creatives are working on a Mac. So let's kind of lighten that up like so and group that together. Cool, we did it. Morning. Copy it. Noon. 3 p.m. Yeah, laptop is like this. Screen is bent in. You get the idea. So let me know how you guys are doing. Michelle, you think it's fun? I hope so. Thank you. I think it is fun. It's fun challenging yourself with like a task, thinking, okay, you know, what would my take on this tweet be? Just kind of reference it again. Michelle Wells, Ergonomics for Creatives. Other people have done fun takes on this as well. I'll review those in a little bit. But again, this is my take before looking at any of those already submitted, right? So what is this character doing? Yeah, he's got all this stuff. Needs to be... Make sure he has that real awkward look. He probably doesn't have a smile anymore. Ungroup. Right, he's getting drowsy. So we'll do like a drowsy look. So just take this lovely little sphere. And actually, you know what? We'll take these 2 points. Gonna bring it down like that. Eyes are closing. Something like that. Why not? But thanks so much for joining me this fine Wednesday. He's getting a little more drowsy as well. You can always simplify these shapes. But what happens to your mouth when you start to close it? Of course, it gets smaller like so. Like that. Super sleepy, maybe pretty much just closed, and just barely awake is the idea. Okay, so here we go. Let's do the biggest smile ever, and then I'll wrap this up. Yeah, 3 p.m. he won't be like that. He won't be that happy with all that feedback. That's right. He won't be that happy with all that feedback. But man, in the morning, you know, it's like your discipline is strong. You're typically really positive. You're ready to take on the day. You're excited. And, you know, it's like, you know, your blood sugar dips. You get maybe a little bit weary. You typically need lunch. Right? So you get a little weak, maybe a little annoyed. It could just mean that you need to take a break. You need to have a sandwich, right? But this is like, again, sort of noonish time. Okay, cool. I thought this was kind of fun. Yeah, that's all I'm working with. Let's go to brushes. Can I find a fun clock? There we go. Sure, let's use that. There we have it. Morning, energized, interested. Let's change his eyes. Zoop. Just really happy. Noon. Still doing stuff. 3 p.m. Bingo. And that's our winner. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. There's a lot of intermediary steps there, Thao. I get it. Like, yeah, he would probably be taking a break, eating some snacks, stuff like that. But that's kind of my take on it. Because again, when I looked at me doing all this stuff, I was very much that same way. Even if I just like looked at my habits. In the morning, I'm fully engaged. Early afternoon, and after some reflecting, it's like, yeah, late afternoon, boom, I'm right there. So again, just reading over comments. Yes. Remind yourself to blink. Yeah, Kurt's nailed it. So yeah, this was kind of fun to do. Again, the inspiration is this: ergonomics for creatives. This is how you should sit, and then how do you really sit? This is one of my favorites, and this one actually got upvoted, which is like you're like a shrimp. And tell me that's not clever. I haven't seen this one before, but I absolutely love it. But that got me thinking that I'm kind of more like an otter, so I'm the reverse of this. I have the laptop on top of me and I'm bending my neck in an awkward position. This is somebody else's fun take on this tweet. And I love this one by Andy Dandy Notebook. Look at that. Andy Dandy Notebook. Love this. Fresh air snorkel. Desk off to the side. Removing his glasses so he could see real close. I just think this is like so fun. So good. Love it so much. And then somebody pointed out, hey, get yourself a fancy chair like one of these if you do sit Indian style or crisscross applesauce or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, and that's the idea. Ergonomics for gremlins. Right. There we all could be better at this, and that's okay, You do what's good for you, because it's hard just to sit in one position forever. And might I add, I absolutely love this setup. On a nice couch, you probably have a big screen TV, enjoying something, and then you have all the various cables, obviously, like working on a Wacom or some sort of tablet, like super cool. I want that setup. So you get the idea, and thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to continue to work on this, and then I'll post it to this thread when I get it done. But thanks so much for hanging out with me as we work on internet inspired. It's really fun just taking something from the internet and making our own cool take on it. So yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Again, this is Internet Inspired. Paul Tranny. Super excited to do this, our own creative spin on internet things that are happening out there in the interwebs. So thanks for joining me, and yeah, we'll see you guys next time. I'll be posting this online soon. Thank you.